Hi, today I'm going to make some Ringwood Best Bitter. What I'm using is the British Real Ale Guide here. It's made by Camera, and I've got, as I said, Ringwood Best Bitter. Let's show you what I've got here to start off with. At the moment I'm boiling a few kettles. We've got a big pot of hot water here, and that's going to be used to pour over the top of the grains when they're ready. I've got some mashing there, so that's the mashing water in there. Also I've got a mashing tub, and this is a very basic mashing tub, well not together, but basically it's just an insulated box. Got a bit of polystyrene there to go over the top, then there's more polystyrene in the lid. Let's look down here. Let me go back a bit, show this. This is my mashing tub. I've just got a false bottom in here. This consists of a bit of copper, which had the ends cut off. They're not welded with anything. It's all quite loose. And then there's a place where the water comes out. And it goes into. Let's have a look down here.
You might need the light on. I can't really see that one. There you go.
It goes into the back of a metal tap. This is all sort of stuff you can buy at B&Q or your local DIY shop. And there we go. Just to tell you a bit about the cool box. The cool box has just got, I've just stuffed it full with roof insulation, the glass fibre stuff. So some people actually use all the squirty insulation stuff in there, but I didn't want to do that. I just make a complete mess. So there's loads of that in there. I've found by making beer so far that it always keeps the mash temperature at the right temperature all the way through. Right, let's talk about the ingredients. Let's have a look. Right, in this bag here, I've measured all that before. Have a quick peek in there. Okay, let's have a look. So in there, look, we have got 3,530 grams of pale malt, 195 grams of crystal malt, 155 grams of terrified wheat, and 35 grams of chocolate malt. And it's all mixed up in there, ready to go into the mash tub. Also, what I've tossed in there as well is some Burton water crystals, and basically what they do is just make the water much happier. Okay, now what I've done, I've measured the temperature of the grain. I know it's about 19 degrees, and also I know that the strike temperature for the water to go into the mash tub should be about let's have a look, 73.57 degrees, about 74 degrees. Let me think now. Also, the mash temperature should be 66 degrees. So what I've used, I used a calculator. What I'll do, I'll put a link to that calculator I used to work out the temperature for the strike temperature in a minute. Okay, I'll we'll just wait for the water to boil. Right. So, water's boiled. We've got about 9 litres of water in there, which is at about a temperature of 73 degrees here or there. What I'm going to do now is we're going to pour in all the grain. Doing this is quite straightforward. You just pour it in there, but I mean you've got to try to make sure you keep it moving, or you don't want any dry patches. But on the other hand, you haven't got to make porridge. So off we go. Pour it all in there. Bit of a bodge job, I'm sure, but it's just the way of doing it. So if it comes a bit closer, you should be able to see it all going in. Look, there we are. Look. And we've got a nice smell here. It smells a lot like porridge, I suppose.
Yeah. It's a nice smell
there. There it goes. So keep pouring it all in. Keep going. You don't want any dry patches. You can see there it's getting a good. It's all getting mixed in nice as we go along. Now this is going to make about 23 litres, of beer. And let's just stop a bit now, look. Just get a bit dry there. Lots of grain in here. So almost got it all done.
There's only a little bit left.
I don't get any lumps. Hang on.
It smells really nice. It's nearly up to the top.
Okay, that's it. Okay, so let's do a final mix to make sure it's all very happy. You've got some dry patches there, let's see. Oh, that's four more there. There we go. There we go. Well done. Okay, let's have a look in here, look. You can see the mix now, look. We're just trying to get rid of all the lumps. There's a few little lumps here, look. Get rid of those. A nice smell here now. It's a pity there's no smelly version just yet, but I'm sure they will come along with it one day. Okay, so all our meat and ingredients are mixed up. And that's about it really of this stage. What I need to do now is to just wait until I get the temperature. The strike temperature should be 66 degrees. And this should be just perfect. So let's measure this now. See how hot it is. It's about 40, up to 50 odd there.
Yeah.
Keep going, I'm sure it'll be right. I mean, sometimes if it's a bit too low, you can stick a bit extra hot water in there. But if I've got it right, which hopefully I have, it should be just about right. Okay, it's just going up to 60 now. Just wiggle it around a bit so we get exactly what's going on here. Okay, it's up above 60.
Nearly there.
Okay, it seems to have stopped about 64 there, but I'm quite happy with that. Even though it's not measured it is up to that temperature now. There you are, it's going up a little bit more. It's not an exact science, but it's nice to be exact either way. Okay, so I mean that's come to about almost 65, which is it's good as damn it. I'm not going to bother sticking any more hot water in there. Okay, let's just seal it up. Let me show you how I seal it up. I put the polystyrene in the top here. Hang on, I got a bit of string over the top here because I don't want to make it very awkward to get it out. Now it doesn't have to be hygienic in any way here. I mean, I've got a little bit of moss growing on there, a bit of green algae, but it's not a problem. It's just all this gets boiled for about an hour afterwards. So I haven't even bothered reading. I've washed it out just lightly, but apart from that, I haven't really done much else. Okay, once that's on there, push it down so it's nice and close to the top. Put the top on. Seal it all down.
Isn't putting the top over locking it, or is it not? There's
I think it's perfectly fine. Okay, and then what I'll do, I'll just toss a towel over the top just to make sure. But sorry, this is a dog towel, but that'll be fine. There we are. Okay, so we can leave that now for an hour and a half, and after that's done, we'll do some sparging on it. But that's it for now. Just leave it. Hi. So it's been an hour and a half. What I've done, I boiled about 22 litres of water. We've still got 9 litres of water in here, so what's going to happen is the grains are going to absorb a lot of that water, so at the end we end up with 23 plus litres of wort. So let's go for it. Let's open it up, have a look. I mean, normally when you start off, let's take all this off down here.
Okay.
Keep that, there we are. Okay, I've got some sort of insulated cover over the tap as well, to try to keep all the heat in there. a lot of people seem to go ahead and measure the temperature. I don't bother. I mean, once it's done, it's done. They do like to measure the temperature, see how well how well it went. Have a quick look. It smells very nice here now.
Yeah.
There you are. Confirmation there though.
I like.
So. Smells very good. More steam coming off there.
Yeah.
So what we'll do first, we'll run off a few. Come down here. Run off a few thingfuls of this. And what happens? See, we try to get it so it's coming out nice and clear. So we're coming out there like that's coming out quite clear already, actually.
Yeah, I see.
So what we'll do,
Exactly what it handles.
What we do, we'll just sprinkle this back over the top here. Place back in there again. And do it again. There we are. Eventually you'll see. So we do it a few times. And that's just getting all the little bits of the small grindy bits out. I'm quite happy that's coming out quite clear now. I mean, there we are. So pour that back in there. Now, bit of chemistry here. What's happening is that we've got water boiled at 85 degrees here. The ideal temperature for the water in here is about 76 degrees. So ideally the water going in and coming out to about 76 degrees. Not going to measure that obviously, but that's where it's going to work. Let's have a go at the sparging. Right, I need to have a. Okay, there we go.
There you go. I remember stirring there. Last time we made it.
Okay, we get a bit of water in there. Once it gets to a certain level, watch you not burn your mouth with my lip there. So you open up the tap. There we are. Now what we do, we try to get the amount of water going in equal to the amount of water going out.
It's clear. Very clear actually. And a lot of steam.
Okay, so we're going to sit around, we're going to sparge for about 15 minutes. What will happen now, we'll stop the video and we'll come back in about 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes.
Okay, so we're still sparging here. We've got pouring out the bottom there, that. And Sophie here is pouring loads and loads of stuff on the top there. What you'll find is as you go along, it starts getting a bit clearer than more. Well, it doesn't get clearer, it gets a bit lighter. But hopefully get a full bucket full there. We might hopefully get a second bucket as well. And that will normally depict how well the mashing process went. Maybe get a bit hot there, is it so?
Yeah.
Can you have a top over?
Yeah.
Let me just top over. There we go. You can't get a bit hot, you need a...
There we go.
Okay, so what we need to do now is we'll just quickly slow this down a bit, if that's going a bit too fast.